All right, let's finish this. This is the section of nibbles. We're gonna dive right on in there. This definitely comes from the Linux basics course that I've been building. So first I've been doing the Linux basics, and then after that I'll what I do is enumerate a box. And now we're gonna have so we're gonna steps, and here we go. As soon as it loads. So so the first step, cool thing is it started right back up. Okay. First step, I'm just gonna start over from scratch. Close this terminal. So the first step I normally do is I grab go to machines and then go to retired. If you want to follow along, and then type in nibbles. If you're already here, you probably already know. And then go to adventure mode, spin up the target address. This will normally say spawn right here. And then you would go to connections, and then you would go to the machines area, click on that. And if you wanted to use their cloud container, you would go to Pwnbox. If you want to use your own environment, open VPN. And then we would click on that, and this would open up, and you would get an instance, and you would end up here. And what I normally like to do is go to check out the website. So we'll go check the website out when it opens. All right, it's opening up. I'm unaware why it's moving so slow. Why are you moving so slow? Okay. And then Control V to paste that on in there. And then we would see that all we get is this hello world. We would Control U to look behind the page. Oh, this is for Hack the Boxes. And it can kind of show you, this is a script. Let's go back up real quick. This is a script, and then you can tell that it's HTML by these tags, and this is an open tag. There's a close tag, and then the JavaScript inside, at least for since they have the HTML on it, is in these things called script, and this is what is called a function, and we'll get more in depth with all that later. But just know that this is what HTML looks like, and I press Control U to get there. So let's close this down. It's not relevant. All right, now let's put in, oh, that's why that even happened. It's pasting the wrong thing. So let's go right here, copy that. All I did was go over here to click on it to copy. No, I don't want to be involved with your cookies. No cookies for me. And then, okay, so now we're back on this one. Now we Control U this one. we see that we get a B tag that shows hello world. And what this means is um, someone just wrote a string. But what is more important is at the bottom there's a note. This is how you make a comment in HTML, and it shows that there's something called Nebel blog directory. And all a directory is like how you see this, where it says uh, slash index.php, and it's just whatever is after the slash. You just treat it like a directory in the terminal, kind of, except for now where we're in the we're on a website, so obviously it's a little different. Um, so let's check that out. See if we can find some goods. All right, let's see. Come on. Control V. Well, meanwhile, while we struggle to put that in, let's go to the terminal. We'll open up Tmux. Control B Z. I mean, $. We're going to nmap this. We'll check that a little bit later, and then we'll put in our arguments. It's definitely not Nebel blog. All right, here's the argument. While that's working, we'll go over here on this side. We'll be using GoBuster, which is a way to check directories. Because as we checked earlier, we seen that there was hidden directories. So this is why we want to, even when, just whenever you're checking a website period, you just want to look for directories. All right, so let's close this one down. Let's see what we get when we put this in. When we put Nebelblog in, .75 slash, okay, go over Nebel blog. All right, we're able to get something to show up, so that kind of lets us know something's going on here. That's a good thing. Let's click on some stuff. Hello world. So that was that section right there that we seen. All right, let's go and check and see our results. So what we quickly see that there's two ports open. There's port 22, there's port 80. Obviously, we're already working on port 80. That's the HTTP, the website port. A server with the version of um, HTTPD. So that's a database 2.418. So we definitely want to see what that's about. We're going to go to exploit database. See if something will pop up for this. Meanwhile, we're gonna We're gonna use Dirbuster. So let me get the format for that real quick. Now for sure it's dir, and then it's -u, and then it's http://. So we just need to put in the name of the website, and then the name of the website is that, as far as we know. And then from here is -w, and then a slash. Now we have to find the path. I believe it's in share. This is all off of memory. Dir Buster. Oops, no I. U. And then from here we can double tab our way to figure out. Let's go back one. Okay, so let's see what happens. Um, let's press D to see if we can find, or Control C to quit that. So let's try it again. Control or Go Buster. There, it was there. HTTP:// W for word list. And then let's see. Then we're gonna go back to user, share. Let's do dir. Let's try Dirbuster first. And then see, I don't like, oh, word list. There we go. I didn't see it. Word list, tab. Let's see what shows up. And then we're going to go for, I like to use directory list medium just because I don't want it to be sitting there loading all day. Now, if it was like an, a real test, then we probably would want to find every single thing that's out there. But let's see, directory, tab, medium, O2, medium, and then we want to get that going. That's funny, his name. Fire fart. So this is usually most of the information you need to at least get started and see which attack surface you want to go. You want to check the website out. You want to look for hidden directories, and then you want to check and see what ports are open. This is what I kind of, or I think most people do, but this is definitely what I do every when I know that I have uh, an HTTP port open, because you can, you know, this is just part of web exploitation. So make sure you remember this. If you write this down, if you have to, obviously you can just replace this with whatever and then use the list. However, you can keep finding different paths. If you have your own, like if you're going from your own, like a Kali Linux or Parrot OS, your own system, virtual machine, these lists may be a little bit different, but you need to like chat GPT or Google the pathways, but you will see it just by auto tabbing, because this sometimes could be in var or it's different. But once you figure out that path, you need to save it, at least the first four paths. That way you can kind of get used to pulling these word lists out for on your own. Sometimes you can find custom word list on GitHub. And if you don't know how to do that yet, that's fine. I will definitely be showing you how to do that later on. Right now, let's just get to enumerating this. It's almost done. Or no, it's just getting started. So my goal was to try to use a small list, and medium ended up being pretty huge. So what will we do until then? Let's go mess around with the website and see what information, because we actually didn't really do anything with it. Um, I just believe that this is in dark mode, and I don't know how to turn it off of dark mode. What's here? There are no posts. Yeah, this is definitely in dark mode. I'm not understanding why it's showing in dark mode. But let's just keep playing around. You may be looking at it and not see nothing near what I'm seeing, because this probably should be all white, but for some reason it's in dark mode. So whenever time we're clicking, you see how the directory's changing: Nebel blog, index.pxp, and then it's going to that. Let's see what happens. Now you see category equals video. You can customly do this with iDoors later on as you get experienced, but right now it's just kind of important to know that that actually exists. And then when we click on that, it changes over to that, to the actual regular web page. There's a directory that is pretty popular to use, and it's called robot. Whenever it loads, .txt. See, we were able to find the server this way. It shows that that doesn't exist, but it does exist on a lot, so just know that. It's usually a place where admins would hide files, specific files and information so they can um, you know, save it onto their hidden directory on the website so they can go back and, you know, remember that password forever. But something else is important that I wanted to bring up, and we're getting a HTTP status code of 404 not found. 404 not found is let's just pull up HTTP status codes so we can kind of figure out uh, we can figure out what status codes mean. HTTP status codes. So right away, we'll look at this one. Looks like it has the most information. So right away, you can see hundreds for informational codes. 200 is going to be the good stuff. This means it was okay. So if you get a status 200, you most likely won't see that because it's more in the programming side. But this just means that it works. Everything's good. Redirectional. So if you see any 300s, that means if you're going there, it's trying to take you somewhere else. It has a proxy that is in front of it or behind it to stop you from seeing it directly. And so you end up seeing the proxy first. Or you'll see 400s. These are the bad quests or errors. So 404 means not found. You've probably heard that one before. 400's bad request. Let's go check on our findings. See if we're finally ready. Yep. I like to choose the small ones. It is going through everything. I actually don't even want to wait, so I'm going to cancel. And then we're going to go back and use a medium. I mean, a small. Because it's just truly not that serious. Now you can use it if you want to get yourself some reps, get yourself some experience. But at this point, I just want us to see a few directories. Any directories will work. The small list is still a lot. Still 87,000, but I think the other one was 220,000. So at least that's like half of that. Let's see if we can get some information. So while we wait, we're looking at exploit DB. And there's plenty of these different databases that exploit. This is just one of my favorites, but they don't always have everything. And it looks like they created Apache 2.4. There's a buffer overflow that someone was able to execute. There's a remote code execution. So we can head in this route if we wanted to, but there's one main thing that I wanted to show while we with the Go Buster. So just because it's really important, and I learned that if you keep important steps and you just get the flag or follow someone really quick and get the flag, yeah, that's cool, you got the flag, but do you have the information behind it? And I think for the first like 3 months of me hacking, I ended up just skipping and just rushing to get the flag. And then what it ended up having me was I didn't remember anything. I was just there. And then it wasn't until I started to slow down and um, understand everything and break it down piece by piece. And that's when this became actually easy, way easier. Let's see. All right, let's check our status. 27%. Well, there's another important concept I want you to know while we wait. Um, and this is just in case you've never heard of it. If you're new, I'm pretty sure you haven't, but this is CVE, and that stands for Common Vulnerability Exploitation. And this is the number that you receive. So as you start to cater your own in-map options, you can get it to verbose this information. That way you can see which CV it is when you in-map. And then whenever you get that, you can just copy that and paste it into the database. And then you can kind of see what they have shown for it. So it looks like they made a payload and they printed some response with Python. So this is definitely a Python payload. And yeah, there we go with that. Let's try some more common um, indexes while we wait. So index dot php. It's almost like everywhere. Okay, that one has nothing going. Looks like they had a music or videos uncategorized. Oh yeah, here's another one that's important. Admin. Normally there's an admin.php just to kind of like this is where the admins kind of hide their stuff as well. Server was not found. Let's see, readme slash okay. URL readme. That didn't work. Let's see if we can find anything else. Oops. Come on. This is another reason why at the beginning I didn't want to do Hydra actually, but if you don't find the smallest route, sometimes the word count could be, 1.4 million, 2.8 million. It's trying that many passwords before it cracks. And if it doesn't find it in the first like 10%, it can take days. I mean, I've heard of real life scenarios where it's taken days to crack a password, weeks. This is kind of why there's that best practice of changing a password every 90 days because if you if someone started to crack a specific like a something higher than a SHA 256, it can take months. You can grow gray hairs by the time they crack that password. And if you change it in 90 days, they're looking for something that doesn't exist anymore. So there's a good thing on the defensive side. Um, let's try some more while we wait because we're at 75%. All right. Okay. Go. At this point, I'm just like, load. Okay. All right, we'll just wait. We're almost there, 85%. I've pretty much done everything I need to do besides figure out which directories. And I can guess, but this is already loading it for me, so I might as well just relax. Take a little bit of my favorite drink and wait. If you guys have any questions so far about any of this, please let me know. I'm here to answer anything I can, and we'll go from there. At least you get some experience of seeing how long the um, some of the tools can take. And I have a pretty fast computer, even though I'm streaming, which is taking up a lot of my memory, but it's still, it just takes a long time. All right, here we go. In the year 2026. All right, there we go. So finally got it done. Um, where are my starting Go Buster and directory enumeration mode? Progress finished. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way I just did all of that and it didn't show me anything. Let's press, let's zoom in. Control B Z real quick. Oh no, I definitely would not run that again. Definitely not. See if there's some other words hiding somewhere. Okay. No. What I should have did was save it to a file. Negative status. This is on. This is on. Well, normally it will show a list of all of the directories that are available, and I'm unaware of why I didn't get any information. So we'll just continue forward because I already know which one it is. I've done this. So it's supposed to show us a file called Nibbles blog. and it's supposed to give us the one slash content. There's a bunch of them, but content was pressing out a 200 code. So inside of that, we were able to find the index of Nebelblog slash content. Um, and then from there, let's get nosy. So private users. So looking at the user at XML, they hid the name called admin. So we know that the first part of the password is admin. Um, this is their IP address. Looks like there's some sort of count right here. And when you, let's see what happens when I reload it. What I believe this count is for looking for some sort of password, or if you put a password in, it's going to send you to this blacklist. But finishing on with the enumeration. So we see that. Let's go to the admin. Let's go back to the admin. Directory. So let's see. Oh, admin.php. So GoBuster, there's another tool, Dirbuster. There's a few of them. They're supposed to show you all the direct the medium list it was going to show me. I just didn't wait. So I went to the small one and it should have at least showed me like 5 to 10 of them. I didn't get anything. So for the sake of the stream and not putting people to sleep, I wanted to continue. So the only thing we know so far is this is named admin. And once again, we can use Hydra to go crack, to try to crack any of the passwords that we can look for. But that's going to take like 40 minutes to an hour. Like I said, that's a long time. So let's just push forward and say we guessed it was called Nibbles. Don't save. And now it looks like area. But since we're not cracking it, we're cracking the box with Metasploit. We're going to go back and we have enough credentials for Metasploit, because Metasploit would probably ask, hey, what's the username and the password? So since we automatically already have that, we're going to skip that part, or we're just going to go to Metasploit and get busy. Let's see, Control L to. So we're going to use search exploit. And then after that, we're going to use and this is my VN IP address. That's cool. We need to figure out what version This is, so let's settings. I'm just playing around with it, see if I can see some sort of, there, boom. It just took us to something else, but. All right. Why is getting the version important? You need to know what type of website you're hacking so you can um, you can tell Metasploit, hey, this is actually what I'm hacking. So we're going to go to search exploit and put that information in real quick. And then we're going to go to see if we get the same results. Oh, look, we get so by finding the version of the website, um, so at first we wasn't able to get in. Now we were able to get into the website, and then getting into the website, first thing you want to do is go straight and find the version. Then you want to put that version into Metasploit. I'm just breaking the steps down since I've been all over the place. And then after you find the version, you go straight to the search, and then for any of the databases, and then you put that in, and then you see what someone says that they did. So someone has made a excellent ranking Python. You could tell it's Python because of um, the function is says def on it. So if you see that, that lets you know it's Python right away. So someone's made a Python payload for us to exploit this. So now let's use it. So we're gonna go over here to search exploit. Boom, we see that. See this information. Um, we can just go right here, copy this again, or we probably already have it copied. And then we're gonna open up Metasploit. I actually kind of love when I make mistakes. It helps me grow, and hopefully you see that like it's not just a straight path type of thing. There's a lot of, you know, dead ends and reroutes that you have to take. So I just love looking at how many payloads are here, encoders, exploits. Um, so now we're gonna go to use, like we did from the first episode. We kind of talked about how to use this already, so I'm gonna just skip a lot of that. Use, um, it already connected me to it. It's saying, hey, this is the one. There's only one. Your ranking is excellent. It's the Nebel blog, which is what we're on. We're on, and this is kind of why this box was made. This box was made to show you about this specific exploit. That's another reason why I love Hack the Box. It has they put history but behind a lot of the boxes that they make. So this was the Nebel blog exploitation that happened in 2015. Blah blah blah. So anyway, so here we go. We're gonna show options. And inside of the show options, you can quickly see there's L host, which is us, the listening host. So we need to set that once again. And then we need to set it to our VPN, which you see right here in the top right. Or like I showed you before, ifconfig, and it's in tune 0. So 10.10.5. We're going to keep the listening port the same, but we need to set the R host, which is the targeting host. And then so to do that, we're gonna go back to this, copy, set that, Control Shift V, set. And then from there, we're gonna try to run it. Time to let Metasploit do its thing. Oh, so we need to set the user name and password. So set, that's why we needed that in the first place. Because we would have went all the way and did this, and we would have quickly seen we would have had to go back and find all of this. And that is admin. And then set password. And then that is Nibbles. And this is kind of why it took me 8 hours to do it. One, I didn't know what I was doing. Two, you have to go into here and then you figure out you have to go back, which tells you. So now when you set up like when you set up your enumeration and your attack surfaces, it's just good practice to try to see how fast you can get a password, or just play around with the website at least. Click on some things, tamper with some things, and they click on websites and links and mess with the directories until they find something. But there's all obviously different levels. So let's try to run this. Let's see what happens. Oh, so we could set the target. Capital A, set the target URL to, says URI, but URL, and set that thing to the website that we found. And that is slash Nebel blog slash. That was that special directory we found to go forward. So now let's run. So it created a session from our host, or from our IP address to their IP address, using this random port, listening on 44444, what we chose. And here's a meta interpreter. That a meta interpreter is like Metasploit's version of their terminal. So let's see, we'll do ls and see what happens. And it was able to find that information. And remember, and what we were talking about before, in the last two streams that I made, you see that this has read write, this has read. So we see our permissions. This is why all that stuff I mentioned to you is important. But first of all, we want to know, who are we? Who am I? Oh, so it doesn't even know. So we don't have a solid we don't have a solid terminal yet. Right now we're just somehow on the image. We've made our way into the system by going into the plugins, my image. So we need to make a terminal. In order to make that, there's a website that I like to use, but I'm just going to show you. See if I can find this website real quick. It's like reverse. Um, reverse shell monkey pen tester. Let me pull this up for you so you can see it over here. And then it gives you a bunch of different shells you can make. So this is a good site to know about. Why do we want a stable shell? We want to be able to do all the Linux cool commands, or if you're on Windows, you know, for a Windows box, you want to be able to get on Windows and do all the fancy things that we were just doing, you know, and when you don't have a stable shell, you can't do all of that. So let's see. Python reverse shell. Okay, so this is what we're going to use. Let's copy this first line. This is a really important line to know. Um, this is using Python scripting. Ooh. No, that didn't just happen. The whole... Okay, let's see. All right, let's try that again. All right, this is what we're looking for. Python-C import pty, and then you want it to spawn, and we're taking it from the bin bash. Like we were mentioning earlier, most of the normal shells is bin bash. So here we go. So if that doesn't work, then we try the same thing and see if they have Python 3, and you could figure that out. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, so for Metal all you need to do to get their shell, to get Metasploit shell, according to what I'm looking at, is shell. Come on. Let's see if that works. Oh, so there you go. This shell, most of the shells I've ever I make are normally reverse shells from Netcat. Using a Metasploit to get a shell obviously is more convenient, but the whole purpose is we need to get a shell, regardless if we're doing Metasploit or if we're doing a more offhand method. Here we go. Let's see if we can get these commands in now. Let's see if we can get something going. Oh, I still need to put it in. Oh, so I wasn't even into the part where the shell was being able to be created. So let's try that again, what we did before. Let me just type it in. This is definitely an unstable shell. press enter. Okay. So let me just type this in. Python. See how it's kind of doing all the commands just going vertical? That's letting you know you're in an unstable shell. Like it hasn't gripped onto anything on the network. So let's see. Python. Okay, so Python. This is the once again, this is the one that you need to know by, or you don't need to know it by heart, but copy it somewhere. All right, let's see. Import pty colon pty. I'm just typing it in because the copying function is acting like it doesn't work. Oh no. Oh no, you don't. I can't even back. So I have to put it string by string. And then let's see. Whenever it decides that it wants to catch up with life. We are almost there too. All right, and all right, here we go. And WN parentheses, double quotes, slash bin bash, slash bash. And then single tick. Let's call it a tick. All right, let's see what we can get. So we're gonna copy this. Control Shift C. I don't even know if paste is gonna work, so I'm gonna have to type this in again. Let's see. Control Shift V. Oh, good. Now I'll go to the big. All right. Looks like we're gonna have to try again, but put Python 3. Import pty colon pty dot spawn slash bin slash bash. And then parentheses, and tick, closing tick. Yay, finally. Okay, now let's see if we have a regular. ls-l. I'm just seeing if something pops up. Yay. Who am I? Nibbler. Yay. Let's check our um permissions. Okay. So I seen a file up there. What was it called? Nibbler. So cd into Nibbler. Oh, this isn't that stable. So we need to from here we can just cat our way into everything, but I want to make a full stable terminal. I want you to see what that type of shell looks like. So bear with me now. Okay, let's see. Python 3. So we have one part of the shell that's important, but now we need to do a few more things. And one of them is export. And then remember how I was showing you the environments? So this is just terminal. So we just export it in a better terminal into here. And then we will be, okay, it did that. And then STTY. So I kind of mentioned that is the way to talk to the terminal. It's like the terminal file, and then raw, and it's saying to echo that and then bring it to the foreground. Now let's see. See if I can use things like well, let's get her done. So where are we? Hmm. So what we need to do is get it back into my image. Okay, so cd dot dot just getting ourselves back to where we started. Image. Okay, ls. See, cd nibbler. I want to get back into that file. All right, finally. ls. See what's here.